What's up, family? How's everybody doing on a fine Friday? Waiting on some AMC money. I hear you, KJW. Um, Hopefully you're having a good Friday. Today was an amazing day for trading. Um, we've had some really great opportunities. It's so crazy where the overall market is sitting at right now, and you would probably think I'm lying if I was to tell you that the SPY or the S&P 500 right now is sitting on literally the last level that it was on before it made a new all time a 52-week high before it bounced off. And before we leave this chat, I probably will get a chart to just show you guys this, but this one is more about obviously the title where we set up from the get go with AMC. I don't know. I feel like the cat is in the hen house or the fox is in the hen house. Um, what's up, Frankie? How are you, brother? Salams. Mr. McCohen, I've seen some things and I have to share it with you guys, and you guys could tell me in the chat if I'm, I guess, if it's a reach or if I'm feeling like, overly, like if I'm overreacting to it or not, but you guys could tell me because um, this whole case, it got me thinking. It got me thinking. Like now after hearing and not fully going through the special master's response to the judge or what she suggests to Judge Zern, seeing that, it made me think like, hey, can we really trust the court here? Again, this is all just hypothetical. I'm going to show you guys some of the things and see, and you guys tell me. We as a fan, again, we knew from the beginning that as a community, it's only us versus everyone else. No one is coming for us. No one is gonna support us. We even have like some of the community within our community that is completely derailed and went in a different direction and probably just uh, fell into the laps of the as brother Frankie right here says in the laps of the devil. Um, what's up, Mrs. Chase? How are you doing? It's Broke Ape. What's up, brother? So I'm just waiting on a little more people so I can start showing you guys this. I'm not gonna make this long. When I seen these things, I wasn't really as comfortable because it just looks like everything is so close to each other. When you see these things, you tell me again. Um, and I didn't have to dig so far and so deep to find this. It's just always looking at individuals and perhaps looking outside the box to see who might know who outside the case. Um, what's up, Gorilla Grodd? Hey, hopefully you're having a great time on your shift, and hopefully your family is safe and sound, and Baby Grodd is going to be on the way soon. You feel me, guys? So, Pabloco, what's up, brother? We can't trust the court, the market, or the community. The OGs are getting destroyed. Yeah, brother, I feel that, man. Like I really wholeheartedly wanted to like fully believe in the system of the law, and when I've seen some of these things now, I'm at least contradicting it. It could still very well. I mean, again, I don't want to speak ahead of Judge Zern's judgment, but when you see what I saw, you guys tell me in the chat what you think. If my thoughts are overthinking after you see, then you can tell me. You guys could say, oh no, don't worry about it, AB and whatever, because that's what the community is here for. But you guys just have to see some of these things, like some individuals that you don't think should know each other or around each other are all around each other. Like they all know, like they all know each other some way somehow. So let me go ahead and break the tide and share the screen real quick. All right. Right there. So as you guys can see, when you go on the AMC's, Customer Connect investor relations page. You know, there was a live that I've done before where I showed you guys, you know, the face of this Kevin Gallagher guy, which is this guy right here. This guy. And I remember at that time, CSI was in the live that one night. And Shirley, how are you? How are you doing? Thanks for coming in, my friend. And when I showed you guys this face, you know, it just always like it stuck. Something about him just, you know, stuck in the back of my head. So, anyways, when I went to Customer Connect or the Investor Connect relations in AMC, you see here that he basically, when you open that affidavit, you'll see that he's saying, I, Kevin M. Gallagher, being duly sworn, depose, and say I am a member of the bar of the state of Delaware and an attorney at the law firm of Richards, Light and Finger. You guys need to remember this. Richards, Light and Finger. Remember finger. Just remember the finger. And he says, I represent defendants, AMC Entertainment Holdings, Inc., Adam M. Aaron, Denise Clark, Howard W. Coe, and you guys remember probably that live when I shared all the board members, including Adam Aaron. That's who's basically representing AMC. This guy, Kevin M. Gallagher from Richards, Lighton and Finger, PA law firm. Here he had another affidavit that he resent again as well to reassure the court that he is and all that stuff. So you will see all these on the investor relations. I'm not just like, you know, pulling these things up and any of that stuff. So you can go. That's why I just wanted to show you guys. You can go to investor relations. You can find it here and there. So let me take these out. So when you look at this guy, he represents Richards, Lighton and Finger. Here's that. I begin to think, you know, I didn't like how, and many of us in the community don't like how the what's her name, the Amato, the special counsel, went about, you know, her report to the judge. And we all, you know, from the people who are basically fighting this ridiculous and ludicrous settlement and all these things, like at that point, I felt like, you know, there was just how, like, you know, how they can, and you're seeing so many people, like I've seen other content creators who are like even CSI or even Al, like people who are saying that they were completely, like their requests were completely brushed. Even number one son, Fartak Lakatos, was you know, sent, and it was just completely overlooked and all these things. So I was like, you know what, if all these people feel exactly not only the same, but like really did feel like they in the special report there was nothing being mentioned about their reports and it was more of an inquiry, then what's with this chick? Like, you know, let's just see if there's something shady here. Well, when you go look, this is Karine Ellis Amato. That's her. She's a director. That's the special master we're dealing with. She's a director at Prickett, Jones, and Elliott. Okay, perfect. Now, by the way, this is just the surface of stuff. I didn't even do full, like my style of reading into all these other people in here, because normally the bad person in the room is the person that you don't even think that the eyes are completely off of. The people like this chick, everybody's looking at her. Versus it could be any of these guys in here in her law firm, and she's a director there. However, I just looked at her, and then I went to look at Richards, Lighton and Finger, who's representing AMC again. Look at this. Look at these. Okay, and then I went to the Delaware Courts of Chancery, which is apparently where, you know, as you can see here, Judge Zern is right there, and all these people. So I was like, let's look at these judges. These are all the judges in the Chancery. Okay, it's like let's look at these judges. Let me just look into them. Like, you know, that's normally how you start looking into something. You look at all the characters involved, and then you get deeper and deeper. I just wanted to show you guys the like the fingertips of what I just saw, and I was like, okay, this might. this might send some other people who look deeper into things, or who has the time or would love to look deeper into things and connections, maybe in the right direction. We'll start here. This is the first chancellor, and Chancellor Kathleen St. J. McCormick. She's an honorable blah blah blah, was sworn in as a court of chancery on May 6, 2021. First joined the court as vice chancellor in 2018. Prior to joining the court, she was in firm Young, Conway, Stargate, and Taylor. So far, it's this one does like checks out, and it's like nothing too crazy here to see. So first I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm looking in the wrong direction. And I just scroll down and I look at the next judge. This guy, Vice Chancellor Travis Laster. Let's read here. This guy is an honorable blah 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 judge, vice chancellor of the Court of Chancery on October 2009. Prior to his appointment, he was one of the founding partners of the Abrams and Laster LLP, a corporate law boutique specializing in high stakes litigation involving Delaware corporations and other business entities. Now, here's where things start getting interesting for me. Before forming Abrams and Laster, he was a director, the corporate department of Richards, Leighton, and Finger. So this guy was a director here with the guy who represents AMC, the same guy who's a judge in the Chancery Courts. First of all here, guys, okay. It made me feel odd when I saw that. It made me feel odd. Like, this guy came from this law group. He was a director there, not just some sort of associate. And even so, now he's a chancellor, vice chancellor in the court, and the person who's representing AMC is a person who's to be his partner. Guys, tell me here in the comment section, please tell me, do you see something weird with this? Like, I understand he's not the judge that is judging us, but so far, do you feel anything weird with this? Moving on, let's go to this next person. This is what made me feel weird. Look at this guy, vice chancellor, another vice chancellor in here, the Honorable Sam Glasscock. Was appointed as vice chancellor in 2011 after having served as a master of chancery from 1999 to 2011. He was born in Pennsylvania and spent most of his youth in Lewes, Delaware. He received a bachelor in history from University of Delaware, from Duke University in '83, and a master's degree in marine policy from University of Delaware. Before coming to the Court of Chancery, he worked as a judicial clerk and an associate at Pickett, Jones, and Elliott. This is the other chancellor. He basically was an associate here in this firm where Karine Amato is a director. Remember the name here? Pickett, Jones, and Elliott? This guy was an associate there. So that's the second person. Now we look at Judge Zern. I was like, okay, please don't let this one be. And at least as far as I saw right here, just in this right here, she wasn't in any, like any of these two firms, at least right there. But we know that all her partners right there, many of her partners have either, especially that she appointed somebody from that particular firm right here. Special Master Pickett, Jones, and Elliott. The fact that she picked the director here, this chick, Amato, to me, that just signals a lot. Like, why her? Why not any other law group or whatever? And even if there's a good reasoning for this, then how come it was chosen from there while there's other chancellors that are her partners, they're her friends? If you read about the chancellors here, like, and you go to this website, Delaware Courts, and you read about the chancellors and all this stuff, you will see like they'll put like there's like the about us, like it will take you all the way back to the 1800s when the first judge in their history of the chancery was originally there. Like they paint this picture for you of them, like, you know, like a group, a happy group that kind of like, you know, are gonna they're due to go into they're due to be in the system and go down in history as, you know, the people. So 100 years from now, people will know their names. So they all are cool and close friends. So seeing the fact that the first two right there before Judge Zern, people that one, this guy was a director with this guy. He was this guy's partner who's representing AMC, who happens to be in this settlement and lawsuit against us. Then the very next person happens to be an associate where the special counsel, Amato, is the director of that particular Prickett, Jones, and Elliott. Then you go back over here and past Judge Zern, we look at this guy. And again, like this is just fantastic, I guess. You'll see here he was blah blah blah, Chancellor Paul Fioravanti Jr. It shows here prior to joining the court, Vice Chancellor Fioravanti was a director. He sounds like some spaghetti or some shit. Was a director of law firm of Pickett, Jones, and Elliott. So he was not also an associate like his partner. He was also a director here, where the special master, Kareem Ellis Amato, is a director now, currently, before he became a judge. Again, I'm lost for words, honestly, like to see like the fact that the connections of all of this. Maybe again, I'm looking too much into it or not, but I just don't see that. Like it's too connected and too close to see all that happen and like with our case especially. And I didn't even like, you know, again, I'm re-looking all of these. I just, when I saw the first 2 or 3, I was like, okay, something is weird here. You know, does anybody know what the hell is happening here? Before joining Wilson Sisani, Will was a senior associate at litigation, blah, 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 blah. Meager firm, all of that. Vice received her thing. So this one doesn't have anything to do with these guys. And then we go to the next one, this guy, and we see that Vice Chancellor agreed, blah, 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 director, a partner at Leviathan LP. Nothing much there. And then you see these people, like the masters in the chancery. You see that many of them are everywhere else as well. Like you see this one right here. Look at this. This is another special master that the judge could have picked as well. Her name is Selena. Guess what? Before starting, or previously, she was an associate at Richard Lighton and Finger, which is where the director is Kevin M. Gallagher, which is the guy that, again, is representing AMC. Go down here, and we see, I remember seeing this chick, and she wasn't working in any of these, and so have this one as well. So we got like almost half the staff in this court, whether from special masters or judges. All are either from this law firm, where the special master comes from, Kareem Amato. They were directors or people who worked with the guy who's representing AMC in the same law firm. So I don't know if that's a bit of a reach. You guys, again, tell me in here, because I just feel like looking at this, I feel like, you know, there's too much closure or too much connection happening around this judge right here. Like, what are the odds that this guy that's sitting right next to her, directly right next to her, who was a director at the same Matt right here, who is this guy's partner, who's representing AMC in this case. And over here, I see him sitting, like right next to her. And what I'm trying to get at right here, guys, are any of these people, which is half of the people in this room, talking to this judge? What are the odds that they talk with each other as judges? Yeah, they're supposed to be upheld by the law and all that nice spiel, but having the judge appoint a special master, that I remember back in the days, when I think it was Al, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't follow along much with everybody else. It's just there's no time. However, I remember there was some talk about Al, like, sending in a letter that basically wants to take off the special master, which was Amado, wants to reaccuse her and have somebody else. I don't know if that is correct or not. I remember the judge not going through with it and throwing it away with prejudice. Is it because some of her partners in here, some of the other judges, said assign this judge master or this master, which is this chick, Amado, particularly her, because she's gonna go along with what this guy who's representing AMC will do or say? I don't know. You guys tell me in the chat. I don't know. I just feel like, again, we haven't heard the judge speak yet, but when the judge does make a ruling, whether it's this upcoming week, this Thursday or Friday, or it's down the line somewhere, like, if there's a window apparently that it can go for much longer to make her decision, and there was a document that they uploaded. If people want to listen to the hearing, there's the same system that they did with the hearing in the beginning. You can go, you guys can go and like see the phone numbers, and you guys can call. There's like a list of 6 numbers or 7 numbers that you can call, and each line will like take up to 1,000 people. That's all basically what it can handle. You could listen in on Thursday, and then you can listen in on Friday. No one can go there. You just can listen. And you can't share, copy, or legally any of that and share it. Anybody who does, you could be basically dealt with. So, but you can call that number and listen to the situation. And Tampa Bay AP, some more. What's up, Ben, man? How are you doing? So I don't know, people. John Juan, you tell me, what's up, man? It's all rigged. We are the only passengers. We're not the driver. You see, Andrew saying, "Oh boy," you guys tell me. Like, you don't even have to cater to my feelings. We're family again. Like, tell me, like, all these things, like all the connections here. You see, the person that's representing AMC happens to be the director of a firm that literally hosts half of these guys in this room, just about, that are judges or special masters, and the other half are from where this chick was picked. This Amado chick was picked. You guys tell me. What do you think, Casey? What do you think, Shirley? Mr. McCohen, what do you think? Swisha, tell me, what's up? Pabloco, you guys tell me. And I didn't even look into these guys too. Like you bet that sometimes when you look, you start looking at people that everybody doesn't think they're supposed to be part of something or about something or part of the situation or the plot. But then you will find some way, somehow, like this person, for example, could be connected to somebody else from here, and probably find a lot more connections to the web, to the spider web. But having all these connections is just massively, for me, it makes me feel like if on Thursday or on Friday, whenever we get a ruling by Judge Zurin right here on the far left, if it's what we anticipate because of the sentiment that we got from the special report, from the special master's report to her, if we get a judgment that sounds like that report that was very biased, um, then all these things that I'm doing right here or talking about right here or what I was showing you guys right here, I can't help. I'm not telling you guys how to feel. I'm not telling you guys anybody what to think and how. I'm just showing you what I saw. And I'm asking you as well to tell me, am I over feeling on this? Am I overreaching with the feelings with these things that I saw? You guys tell me. Because if the ruling comes to be as biased as that special master's report, then I can't help but to think that all these connections here was from the get-go to make us think that we really had a shot at a court or at a justice or some sort of justice. You know, that's what, if that was to happen that way, then it to me just will feel like, oh, okay, yeah, they probably talked about this behind closed doors at some point, and then they're like, give these fools their chance at or the feeling or the redemption, or to make them feel like they might have had a chance at this in courts, and we'll make it look real, and after all, don't do nothing about it, like just come out with the actual what we were going to do to them anyways. I'm not the guy who brings negativity, guys, and you know this, but when I seen these things like this, I just don't like seeing my family. I know all these people. Like, I know CSI, I know Bartak Lakidis, I know Number One Son, I know Frankie Muhammad, brother Frankie, I know Mike the Marine. These guys all have sent these rejection letters, and even Al from Boston, I don't know the guy, and they all made videos afterwards speaking that in that special report. And by looking at some of that report personally, I saw that they were completely brushed off. Like they were basically some were apparently making inquiries only. They were not taken as objectors. And when I see this right here, like these connections between this Amado chick, and then, oh, by the way, Number One Son, I like the thumbnail to that last video you had yesterday, one spicy to Amado. So yeah, that was catchy. And then you have this guy who's representing AMC, Kevin M. Gallagher, and having him, be a director, the very firm, this Lightning Finger firm that also happened to house just about half of these judges or chancellors in the Delaware courts. So when he goes in, he's like, hey, what's up, partner? They probably just had dinner last night. They probably just had, like, they probably came over with the family and had some wine overnight. I can't help but to think that there's some sort of manipulation happening or some connection happening between. And again, I'm not saying they are doing it, and I'm not implying it. However, I'm pointing the finger at, what do you think? You guys tell me. I'm talking to all of you here. I'm talking to all of you family in here. Seeing the fact that this guy right here, the very next person next to Judge Zern, and I understand this is just a group photo and they all have to look like one happy family, is the same guy who was the direct partner of this guy who's representing AMC. I'm not asking here personally. This is me speaking for myself. I'm not asking for a judge that will say what we want to hear. And I know that sounds like, okay, everybody wants to hear what they want to hear because it's to their best interest. No, I'm asking for a fair shot at having that opportunity. That's all it is. And I'm happy with the outcome, no matter what it is. No matter what it is, I'm happy with that outcome. Lyrical assassin, yeah, exactly, right? He definitely does look like the picture of the Shannon. They had dinner, talked about us, and they played Twister. Probably, and put on some masquerades too. Andrew, They tried so hard to push us under 4 today because the Max Payne couldn't do it. See, here's the other thing too. In the last live, Andrew, um, I showed like on the AMC chart that there was a small little gap that we needed to fill in the upper three, lower fours region. I think we filled that up maybe today, or perhaps we'll fill it up next week. Um, charts just don't like gaps, and I think that will be a good thing because if we fill that up, then I think we'll be good to go. Um, Again, people, I just wanted to see this. I wanted you guys to see this right there, and tell me what you would have thought. You would have seen this like the way that it is, like that particular way, like all these things that I've showed you with these people that happen to be directors in this, like that were directors in the same law groups that are representing this case that we're in now. Some on the side of the special master who's supposed to be looking at the fairness of the case, and some were actually partners, buddies, and directors with the very same people that are representing AMC and Adam Aron and the board. So it just looks to me like wow, out of every like there's like 5 million groups out there, and so many different people out there. What are the odds that AMC went and hired the guy that is the partner or the ex-partner of the other directors that are chancellors now? Yeah, Pablo, we definitely need to fill the gap in our portfolios, right? Everybody does. Dan, man, what's up, brother? Unbelievable, man. See, that's the same guy, Kevin Gallagher, being dully sworn. I am a member of Delaware, blah, 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 State Bar, the law firm of Richards, Lighton, and Finger. I represent defendants AMC Entertainment Holdings, Inc., Adam M. Aron, Denise Clark, and Howard W. Coe. I submit this affidavit in connection with defendant's reply brief in further support of the proposed settlement. Best of my knowledge and belief attached this affidavit are true and correct copies of the following documents. And you could go and read all this right here in the customer in the Investors Connect on AMC's website. You can see all these things and everything. And here's what you can see. You can also find the recommendation letter that the Amato chick have the special master have given court. And this one is what the judge said here. If you guys want to look at this, about what's going to happen, like with the ruling and stuff, and how you could get the number to the phone to like listen if you want to call in and listen to the listen to the court case. So it says here, I write to address your letter regarding and describe a special master Amato potential conflicts of interest. No, sorry, that's not that. This is a different person. I don't think I read this. I have previously informed you the lack standing to seek relief from the court, but because your motion questions the impartially, I will address it. Partially, I'll address it. Briefing on your motion is not necessary. The premise of your motion is based publicly information. Frank Amato as the director. Oh, okay. So did anybody, you guys tell me in the chat right here, did anybody figure out, that's another thing. Did anybody figure out if the Frank Amato guy is related to the Korean Amato? Does anybody know in here if that was to check out? Another thing I want all of you guys to look at is yeah, KJW. I've seen that video earlier this morning as far as the no finding the connection. However, you know, you always want to look at, like, you know, all the resources. Somebody else might find something that no one else knows. You know, that somebody else couldn't find. What, I mean, I've showed you guys this, and you guys can, if you guys want, you can ask me questions. And this is the letter from the court that I was telling you about right here. Dear counsel and interested parties, a 2-day settlement hearing is scheduled in this matter for Thursday, June 29th from 9:15 a.m. until 4:45 p.m. and Friday, June 30th from 9:15 a.m. until 3 p.m. Listen only audio feed of this hearing provided by the court scribes will be available through the following public access lines. And these are the lines right here. You could call any of these. If one is busy or can't take, that means it reached its limit of the 1,000 phone. And you could reach some other one. I mean, what are the odds that we would have 5 lines at 1,000? So basically 5,000 people listening in. I think that we got that kind of number and we got that kind of power as a community. But yeah, try to get in, I guess, early if that's something you want to do. Try to catch that line early so that you can hear. Although you do definitely have to have a very open schedule, because if you're gonna spend Thursday from 9:15 a.m. till about 4:45, so you can listen in while you're doing trading if you're a day trader, because it's gonna take a market long thing. And from Friday, do the same thing as well again. So 2 days where you just kind of glued to it. You know, at the end of the day, one thing I do love and like is the idea that we filled that gap on the technical analysis with AMC on the charts. Filled that one gap that I showed you guys in the last live in the lower 4s, upper 3s gap. No, if we didn't fill that yet, I think we could probably fill that next week. Another thing that I'm looking at or interested in is seeing the fact that Ape is still, you know, it had an upward trajectory, and it had like a 9% move the first day and a few percents here and there, but it's still, you know, didn't do what it's anticipated to do if this thing was to move forward completely like it's supposed to. But everything is to be seen. So I'm very excited about, obviously, like, you guys have no idea, like, no matter how this ends, I'm excited regardless. I've made myself clear before of how that I'm holding through no matter what. If I wanted to not be a part of any of these shenanigans, that reverse split and all that stuff, I would have sold a long time and just said, you know, screw this. But no, I'm going through with this because I already know the potential of this play. My thoughts, my personal thoughts, and again, I don't advise anybody but myself. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just another guy on YouTube. So I've said this months ago. This reverse split / conversion would make me reevaluate what I do after it occurs, if it was to occur. How long I will hold, for what I will hold, for how long I will hold. Those things will be definitely in question. Unlike if this thing does not go through, then it's as it's always been. The fact, and I've detailed as well, like the facts, the opinions, the facts that are out there. The fact that AMC would be able to dilute AMC to oblivion afterwards, which they have to do to get their balance sheets better. Plus, when the conversion goes through, it's also not just the people who are taking care of the arbitrage. It's also the people that are are against us, shorts on the other side. You wondered when you look and see that all the data on Ape is not available. It's not. If you ask yourself that question, you would probably, if your answer or your thoughts are telling you, well, why are they hiding something there? All we know is the Antera deal and a few other institutes that recently just got updated on the brokerages that they're bought into Ape. How much we don't know. We just know about Antera's deal with Ape. That's it, because they bought the first initial, dagger from Adam Aaron back at 66, 68 cents. So I guess they were like, you know what, since the mouse is out of the house, might as well, show our play. But everything else, all the other data is completely covered. So who will come on from the conversion as well, with what amount of positions or shares that will become automatically minted, AMC minted new shares transformed from the Ape. We're not the only ones who had the arbitrage opportunity. You got to remember that. So again, in it, no matter what, to win it, I still see this play, no matter what, will be a runner. My humble opinion. This is just my opinion. And the reverse split go through and the conversion, and it does not run, I'm willing to take that. I made that decision when I first made this investment. Obviously, not knowing 3 years ago that we're going to go through a convergence / reverse stock split. But I was already down to no matter what, zero or hero. And if this conversion doesn't go through / reverse split, or some modifications are done to it, that will also modify how my plan or exit strategy will be from the play. At the end of the day, I didn't come into this holding anybody's hand, and I'm not going to walk out of this holding anybody's hand. And so is any of you guys. We all can say we love each other and all that stuff, and we do. Jam Bams, how are you? Nice to see you in here. Thank you. Show some love to the mods. Show some love to Jam Bams. Show some love to Jeffrey. Hey, Roka. What's up, locos? None of you guys owe anybody anything except your families. The only thing that brings us together is this movement. And in the same time, it's your portfolio. Once you're down and you're hurt, only you will go through it. Trust me, the movement will continue to move. So take care of yourselves, people. Always. That's one advice I'll say, since I'm not a financial advisor, is take care of yourself, no matter what the odds are. Don't worry about what the people are going to say. And look, I'm saying this out in public. Many people are afraid to come and talk like this. Many people want to hide behind somewhere, some platform, and kind of just give the people some certain group of people what they want to hear, and they rally around that and rally around each other. If you want to hear what you want to hear, AB is not the place for you. And you guys have known that. The family in here, all of you guys all know this about me. I'm never going to just tell you what you want to hear unless it coincides with what it is that you should be hearing. Personally, I put out my personal plan before I said it. I just see too much connection here with these people. And also these people who happen to come from the same areas of this guy who's representing AMC and this chick who happened to be a director of, again, all people involved in this picture right here majority of them used to either work here with Amaro or used to work here with this guy who's representing AMC. What are the odds, right? Lovely, huh? Now, I wanted to show you guys also another thing quickly. I wanted to show you guys the craziness of the position that the market or the S&P 500 is in. Look at this. This is crazy of an image. Oh, hold on. It's not shared. It's still sharing the picture of that Gallagher guy. I gotta just change it in the windows. So, por favor. Now, Jeffrey, I'm speaking Spanish for you. No, this. There we go. Okay. So look at this. This is on the monthly. Okay. You see this blue line right here, people? This is the SPY and the aka the S&P 500. Um, sorry, I was looking at when you see this is where it closed today. Here, let's put the after hours. Look at it. Look where they're fighting right now. The last time the S&P 500 got to this, which was back last week, they tried to bring us down, the bears, the shorts, tried to bring it under, and it hit this particular line. I drew this blue line, by the way, because I saw that it was a strong level of either support or resistance. And look how we bounced off of it, and within 2 days, we were at a 52-week high, almost at a 52-week high. And then ever since then, since last week, we've been on the downtrend, and look where we are now. We're right there. There's two things that could happen next week. Okay. And I'll put it this way for you, frankly, for people who want to stay updated to what's happened in the macroeconomic outlook or image of the entire market outside of AMC as well. This goes under and gets confirmed to go under next week within Monday and Tuesday. That would automatically, at that point, confirm breaking out of a head and shoulder almost. As you can see, here's the first shoulder, here's the head, here's the second shoulder, and which signals that it could go down. But if they were to bounce hard off of this, which that's what I expect next Monday or Tuesday, one of the two things you will see happening, and this is not financial advice, but this is AB fact check me, bro, later next week. But Monday or Tuesday, this thing is either gonna run hard, not no consolidation, Monday or Tuesday, bounce off in some bullish way manner. It's gonna fall under, and then within Monday or Tuesday, you're also gonna see a fallen knife, or more like, I don't want to say probably like a fallen knife, but you will see down hard action that will look worse than even what it looked like today. If you think today looked bad as far as the red market, that was just a tease to what is to come. Again, they break this level of support, and the bears were able, or the shorts were able to bring it. Now, many people would love to hear that. I know that from our community. Personally, for me, I played both scenarios when I seen that setup. So I'm exposed to both, and whichever one moves in whichever direction, I will limit my exposure to one and continue with the opposite. I also did that with the SQQQ, so therefore, that I'm also getting double exposed to whichever scenario happens. So you always want to be in the game, right? Speaking of the SQQ, was wonderful today. I actually had some before yesterday's close. I bought some puts on Amazon, and I bought some calls on the SQQ. It was wonderful right at the open. It was the most beautiful trade ever, or two trades ever, because right at 9:30, it took a nice hard run, like the dive in the entire market, and Amazon fell. So I was able to get out of those puts with beautiful profit and ease. And then it coincided with obviously the SQQQ going up, and it all happened within the first 30 minutes. After that, I was like, what do I do? I was just so excited I couldn't go right back to sleep, even though I needed, because I only slept for 2 hours. So for uni, I am not selling. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. G Money, what's up, brother? Tampa Bay Buckeye. You know what's crazy is Apple Almost every day for this past 2 weeks has been making a new all-time high. And I've been making fun of it as like it's not like Steve Jobs is around for that kind of bullish action. It's not like they've created like the best system of chat GPT or something, which is the trend lately. It's not like they're taking all the cloud service business, which is booming, and Amazon sits on top of that tree. Um, it's wonderful though. It's great. Honestly, whatever happens on Monday, I'm well and ready and prepared for it. I'm so excited because whatever happens on Monday, I like I'm personally set myself out to be exposed to either scenario, and I just have to jump in and take out. However, you guys remember in the older lives I've done, like probably like a week, 2 weeks ago, I've mentioned something to you guys that was to be taken seriously and smart, and it was serious. Here, let me show you something with the overall market, the S&P 500. You see this? This is 2008, 2009. I showed you this literally about 2 weeks ago, guys. Some of you in here might remember, and you could tell. You can tell. You could just confirm it in the comment section. And right here in 2008, when the crash happened, if you look, the SPY and overall the S&P 500 have always made higher highs. We technically did not have. If you look at this chart, you can make an argument that we never had a bear market. We've been in a bull market ever since 2008, which if you were to buy into that theory, and let's say you were to think like, okay, that makes sense. Because again, the numbers check in that theory, which if that makes sense, that only confirms one thing. We didn't have crash yet. 2020 was right there. And as you can see, it was a correction. In 2018, we also had a correction right there. Back in 2015 and 16, we had two small minor corrections. In 2022, you remember most of 2022, all the way leading up to October, we had some, but that is looking like a correction as well. Crash is when the stock, or the basket in this case, the basket of stocks or the market crashes to below anything or lower lows, basically. So like if we were to crash from here, we were to fall from here all the way down here, then you can say we actually crashed, or even crashed 2008. Or if we were to crash to down here, you could somewhat call that as a crash, because that would change the scope of things. Now, what it looks like, if you don't buy into that theory, because you have to expose yourself to more than one thought. If we were, and we will have a correction, when it's just about when will that happen? Will that be on Monday and Tuesday? That will remain to be seen. But when we do have a correction, what history is telling us that the correction will not be lower than this right here. It will not go below the like the 230 or 240 levels, which was the previous downfall of correction back in 2020. It was supposed to like do some sort of correction, be somewhere down here in these areas, anywhere in this whole grid line, but not lower. Because historically, it just always made corrections and continue on to newer highs. And I mentioned this to you guys 2 weeks ago. So what do we get on Monday? Do we continue? If you look on the long term, on the long run on this chart, you'll see that we are still eating up all this downturn. Like today didn't even happen on the long term chart. It's just a little blip. AB is going to do a hostile takeover. Lids, don't be fooled by his weird gruff exterior. AB's a Oh man. OSU. OSU. Bad. Hell yeah, Paulo. Moon or nothing, right? Let's look down here. Next week, I'm gonna show you guys some tricks to use for day trading. You guys want to see that next week? As long as that stuff is not being utilized on AMC. You guys will tell me in the chat. I this like Fibonacci long time ago. Okay, wait. So Warren is saying depends on how the reverse split goes. Andrew saying from my PTSD, my floor now is now 500 a share. I'm not laughing out of happiness, by the way, just so you would know, Andrew, and all that. Like remember this. This is the way I go about things that are outside my power, okay? When it's within my power, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure, like I'll leave everything on I'll do everything I could if it's within my power. However, if something is outside my power or my jurisdiction, human jurisdiction that I could deal with, then I'm a believer, so therefore I have, the Most High for that, and I wholeheartedly believe in his judgment and how he goes about. He will never put me in something. That's just the way I'll go about it. Never put me in a situation or a predicament that one, I either can never come out of, I can't handle, or a situation that is not rightfully supposed to be for me as a lesson. So either one of the two, it's either going to be a valuable lesson for something and make me stronger in or it's definitely not going to be something that I cannot handle. So if it's happening with me, then, or to me, I always deal with it as in like, I can bear this. God knows I can bear this. He knows me as much as I do and more. Created me. So so either way, I know that for a fact I'm not going to be screwed no matter what. And that's why when I think like this, it gives me the feeling of enlightenment, the moment of I'm starting to feel down. Right away, I get resurged with power and hope and what? Yeah, I got nothing to lose. As long as I got my health, I got my people, my family, my friends. That's all that matters. My computer is dying, so I'm plugging in the charger. Hopefully it doesn't cut the live. Whew. Glad that worked. Let's see. Come on, AB. Show us how to short. Oh, no, McCohen. It's not going to be shorting, too. I hate shorting. Like the model, even though they say that the model is proven, and shorting is somewhat good in the market because if it's done correctly, and some companies deserve to be shorted, blah, 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 XYZ. I don't like shorting in general because I think that just the model, the fact that you are like having something like that around, even if you're going to use it properly, it's always going to entice somebody to do evil. Because when somebody gets caught in a short, they have no they have no way out but to get their way about it. So that entices some people to go and manipulate. So that like same thing that's happened to us. If shorting wasn't around, we wouldn't be in this predicament exactly the way that we are, because these people, not only did they get caught with their pants down, these people got caught overly manipulating shorts and naked shorts and synthetics and all sorts of things and kitchen sinks and all that crap. And now they feel the need, because it was so bad what they did and how illegally and how badly they got out leveraged within their shorting. That's why they're doing all of this now. And that's why I said if the model is not even around, we wouldn't have this. No one who can't, like, it's kind of like an alcoholic who, you put in the middle of a bar with like all the drinks and everything, and they're a recovering alcoholic. Like, you're putting yourself in a predicament that is so bad that is going to most likely get you to relapse. And in this case, if you just compare the examples, if shorting wasn't around, so if alcohol is not around, this person doesn't relapse. And in the same time, they don't put themselves in that predicament. However, if shorting was not around, people who don't even have morals, values, ethics, will constantly short to oblivion outside of their scope, and they, because they start seeing the dollar sign and they forget about the risk. They forget about what's right and what's wrong. Next thing you know, it's done completely wrong. So there are some people who do shorting good out there. There are some good shorts out there, apparently. But unfortunately, having a model that can either, it's either going to work as a an indicator that either lures people, change people from good to bad, or the good people just know that it's not for them, so they don't even deal with it. But by having it, you're always going to have that one person or a few people or a lot of people that are going to be interested in looking at the fact, like, they're going to outlook everything and overlook all the risk, everything, integrity, value, everything, even because the risk and reward to them is monetary. So the monetary reward is high. So all they have to do is what? Cheat people, lie about shit, cover shit, pay off some other higher power people, governments and stuff, to overlook shit. That's why exactly all this is happening the way that it is. The only way this never happens again is if shorting gets completely banned, or they bring on not a community, because no matter who it is, they will find a way to buy somebody out in that particular whatever department. SCC, well, I don't even want to speak about them, because again, you all know what's up, and you guys all have your own ideas and formulate your own thoughts on that. It just has to be either that model is banned, or the model is capped in certain regulations that just can't be overlooked. Similar to the way that we have a president here. Now, some people might be conspiracy theorists and say, we don't really choose the president. They might make you think that you're voting, but you're really not the one who's choosing the president. There are some major groups and corporations who really choose. And at the end of the day, how do you know out of all these millions that they gave you the right platform, with the right voting numbers? Now, I'm not going to go with that or go against that, because again, that's a conversation that you cannot prove null or correct. However, it could be correct, it could be wrong. But one thing we do know that can't change is somebody can't just come and say, I want to stay as president forever. That's what makes it, like, that's what I mean by an example, as in, how can you cap shorting? If you can't get rid of it as an entire program in general, then how could you put some parentheses around it in order for us to, well, for you as a lawmaker make sure that either people don't fall victims to these predators, or even predators themselves overlook trying to become, thieves. A thief walks by the bank and just like, you know what? No. They don't even think about stealing because they're like, okay, I might get arrested. But the reason why they still rob banks is because there is a possibility to get the job done. So they go and do it. Even though the risk is a lot of time and blah, blah, blah. But the reward outweighs that risk to that individual, to that particular entity and that particular mindset. So in a nutshell, that shorting platform or diagram needs to be contained in a manner where they have to literally like put something that everybody just knows as the new norm, like as fine print as in you can't be a president unless you're neutrally born in the US. You can't be a dictator here. Here, a president serves 4-year terms and then either re-elected once more, and that's it. Those are fine. That's it. That's fine print. You can't change it. So I wanted you guys to also look at this. You see, this is where we are as far as AMC. We are $4 and after hours, let's see. Oh, we can't add it because it's a long-term chart, but we'll look at it now in a second. See, there was a gap right here that we needed to fill at the 401, which we did. I feel like we did. And another one right there, 405, 406, which I think we also filled. So was there any more? No, I think we filled that. I haven't looked further back, but that's way too far back. I think we filled everything else on the way. So I think we're there, people. So when people were talking about we brought back, yeah, we do have a head and shoulders here. You can see it right there. Shoulder, head, shoulder, and it's moving down. However, my explanation to what this was the charts technicals trying to work its way out to fill these gaps right down here. I can draw for you so that you can also, for those of you who didn't see it or pretend that you don't see it, now you have no choice. Here, I'll draw a line across. See that? See, it's connecting here, which means we filled it right there. That's where the wick is, but that's not what we filled. So, right over there. I think we just filled that. Now, last but not least, how about the crypto run? What have I told you guys in the past? Come back. What have I told you guys? Who said McCohen? Tim McCohen is saying if you wanted to be a dictator, hell no. What did I tell you guys about the resurgence of crypto? It was a big deal. If you watched the live from the day before yesterday, then you walked away with some valuable stuff. And then if you walked away also with a live from last week, you would have walked away with a lot of things, because this big stuff that are happening as far as the ETF that is being declared for by BlackRock, they're gonna get their ETF. A lot of people said they're just applied with it with the SEC. Listen, I shared to you guys that BlackRock's record with applying for things is 575-1. These guys have a better record than the freaking New England Patriots. These guys have the better record than, and I hate the Patriots. With all the respect to all my people out there, it's just not my team. They have everything. They have more than $10 trillion, the biggest asset manager in the world and the globe. So when these guys go in and say we want this, they get that. They get that. When taco truck. And then another thing, if you what this feels like right now, or what it looks like, is that we're setting up The same setup that happened back in 2020. And this is what I mean by this. Toward the end of 2020, in the mid of 2020, this is when the meme mania started coming up. Kind of, it started surging. The idea started surging a lot, but it was the crypto mania at the time that was actually the real deal. So it started with crypto. Crypto ran, then it started dipping, it crashed, and then the meme mania, the meme stocks took care of the next. That's when we had January situation with the button removal, and when they paused us, and then we continued from there all the way to the next 6 months, till the beginning of July. Basically, we kept running. Aaliyah, hello sister. How are you doing, my friend? It's nice to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you or even talked to you. So hopefully you're in great spirits, and hopefully you and your family and your loved one is in good health and spirits. So back then, the one thing that rhymes with what's happening right now is that crypto ran first, money was made, and then when these perhaps these people that are going against us, the shorts, maybe when they make some money, maybe that's why when the crypto runs, they make money on that. They screw the people in the crypto community by shorting it back down. And then they come around to us, and that's when they're like, okay, now I have some money to come to pay you. So if it works that way, by all means. If that's the order it will work in, by all means. I just wanted to come through on a Friday evening, and I have to go and get some sleep since I haven't slept only 2 hours from yesterday. And I need, I just need to get that stuff out the way, get you guys all to see it. Please put down your comments in the comment section after the chat of what you think, so I can see it for after I wake up, what you guys all think about it. If you haven't liked the video, please like it. It'll push it out to more and more people. I need more people to see that stuff earlier in the live chat, and hopefully yours. Oh, look, Carlos jumped in. I have to. Okay. Hell yeah, MP. We're gonna party so freaking hard. Mr. McCohen, I appreciate you even more, sir. Thank you so much. Salute, and thank you for your service as always. But yeah, people, enjoy your weekend. Be ready for this crazy upcoming week, on all counts, for EMC, memes. I will maybe perhaps make another video, either tomorrow or Sunday. I might also go live with a friend, a special friend, also, either tomorrow or Sunday, depending on how timing works and stuff like that, or maybe, who knows, maybe even tonight. And like I said, enjoy your weekend. Next week, we have our docket, we have our court, we have a busy schedule next week. We have an entire market to see what direction it moves to as well. And on that note, enjoy your summer vacays. I see, for those of you who are on that, hug your loved ones, enjoy your time. I'll catch you in the next one. Much love, AB Investments.